Hello, everybody, and welcome to our review of The Haunted Hoochie in Patalasca, Patalska, however the hell you say it. If you somehow haven't heard of The Haunted Hoochie,
Yeah, what rock did you come out of?
yeah, and also, how do you describe The Haunted Hoochie to someone who is unacquainted? Basically imagine, like, Rob Zombie's most vile work and, like, make that a haunted house you walk through and make it even more twisted and mess up. Like, we're talking some of the most deprived things you can think of, and it's all treated with, like, a little smirk on its face. Like, there's no other place that has a vibe like this. It's weird, it's violent, it's crazy, and if that sounds entertaining to you, make sure to stick around for our review of The Haunted Hoochie. Alright, so before we get, like, into the review, and now, part of what I'm going to say is not going to be part of, like, how we are judging the score at all for this place, but we had a horrible time in line, like, the worst experience we've ever had, and again, this is not part of the Haunted Hoochie, but it's my part to promote why you should give them more of your money. You should buy a Fast Pass. Do yourself the favor. If you can't afford the Fast Pass, don't go. We waited 4.5 hours, roughly, in line. We got caught and had to tell security twice. There's people smoking joints all around us for all 4 hours, and children grinding on us. Does that sound fun? No. Would you rather pay $25 and not have that happen to you? I bet you would, and that's what you should do. That being said, the area that surrounds you when you're in line is super cool. For some reason, which I love, over the last 5, 6, 7 years, Haunted Hoochie's has been, like, buying, like, defunct amusement rides.
Yeah.
So they have, like, 2 backyard coasters, a Ferris wheel, and the new for this year, which I'm sad we didn't get to do, is a fun house that actually has actors in it that you can just walk through. Like, you don't have to wait in line, you just go and walk it, like an old fun house.
It looked pretty janky.
Yeah, and it's probably the thumbnail. I'll kind of, if I have, I don't think I even took pictures, which is crazy considering how long I was in line. No excuse.
I have some pictures of it.
Yeah, but it's just a really cool aesthetic being surrounded. Not cool enough to be there 4 hours, but, like, it's really cool. They do have a stage. Unfortunately, I would think on a Saturday night that busy, they would have some kind of entertainment on the stage. They didn't. But some nights we have seen fire dancers. We've also seen people hanging from meat hooks. I'm sure they have other entertainment too. That's the only thing that I can remember seeing really going on the stage. There are some people that come out for like a minute or two and like do a little dance on there, but
yeah, and I mean they always have the go-go dancers in the cage and stuff like that. And then they also do have some queue line actors and stuff like that. Hi, Candy.
Oh, yes, which we will don't worry, we'll talk about that in Actors, which was one of the craziest interactions we've ever had. And while I will also preface with saying before we get into rating everything, some of the things we're going to be describing are going to be R-rated.
Yes.
And there's no really, without us just not telling you the things that happened, which that's the fun of the Haunted Hoochie review and why these reviews typically get more views, because the stuff they do is insane. It's not like the absolute scariest haunted house in the world, but it is it's probably the zaniest and just like, I can't believe they're doing that. Like, that is so messed up, I can't believe they're doing that. I mean, when you're in line, they're going to play, like, political propaganda. So, like, get ready for a lot of, like, AI videos insulting Donald Trump and, like, conspiracy theory stuff. That's not your thing. Just don't pay attention to it. But then, like, in between, they'll play Chapel Rowan, so it's fine. Yeah. But, yeah, that being said, I think it's time to go ahead and get into the review, which, as always, means we must refer to the Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! Book of the Dead! So, first category, as always, is sets and props. So Haunted Hoochie isn't a haunt that follows a theme. It is all the themes whenever they want, wherever they want.
Yeah.
You know, one scene might be a clown getting beheaded, followed by 3 dragons raising a dragon egg. And then after that, I think you go to war. It's like, you know, like that's the vibe at the Haunted. It's just whatever, and it works because, like, it's impossible to describe how the Haunted Hoochie feels to go through, and there's no POVs that I know of, because, like, I don't think the Hoochie has ever allowed anyone to film in there, and they watch people pretty closely on things, so, like, you will get caught doing things there, which is good. So, one of the first scenes, well, there's, like, which one of the very first triggering things that really sets the pace, and this has been like the opening scene, I think as long as a Hoochie's been open, as it is currently, as Dead Acres or whatever, where basically a guy, you know, has a shotgun and unalives himself, if you will, in front of you, and then after that you're basically forced into the next room. You get to go through like a jungle of a bunch of monkeys, and again, we're going to talk a lot more about things in actors too, because there's a lot of crazy actor things. There is the clown beheading scene, which, I mean, that does involve actors. There's the dragon, which is a giant, huge, like, Game of Thrones looking dragons, like, with this egg. There's a really cool junkyard scene, a lot of, like, falling barrels and stuff.
Yeah. That was actually really cool because they were, like, the way they were falling this way, and then eventually you made your way around to the other side of them, and then they were falling on that side as well. So they would keep going back and forth the way they set them up, which I thought was really cool. It's
a very kinetic haunt. Things are just constantly moving everywhere, which makes it everything you look at. It's a very visually interesting haunt to look at, which makes it very sensory overload. I mean, that is the point of the Haunted Hoochie.
Oh, yeah.
There is one thing, and I'm not sure, you can also correct us on this if we're wrong. There's like this military scene with like all these guns firing stuff, and there used to be a helicopter. Is the helicopter still there, or did we just miss it? Because I didn't see it, but I'm like, it was also 1 a.m. when we entered the Haunted Hoochie. So, like, we were all kind of delirious. We got separated at the first scene, so I did most of the haunt kind of by myself.
Yeah.
Like, away from my people. But yeah, the graveyard scene's really cool. There is a section in that, which I guess is kind of actor-based, but I'll talk it now because it mainly involves a prop where you, they will hold you up against this hole, and then a motorcycle drives like really fast at you in the last second, you know, brakes and doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
But it's a really freaky, even though it's happened to us before, it still is like, it just comes at you so quick. It's a very effective scene. I've never seen anything like that at a haunt.
Yeah, no, it's very unique.
Like, I've seen the train's gonna hit you, but something like that, where someone's just holding you in place as a motorcycle just goes full speed ahead at you down a dark tunnel, it's freaky. One of the most, well, I shouldn't say one of the most distasteful scenes. One of the distasteful scenes that I really like, it's a thing making fun of the Ocean Gate thing that happened a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And there's sharks, and there's the submarine there, and all of that good stuff. There is... a new scene since we've been there. What's it called? The baby scene? What was it called exactly?
It was, it had a name, but it was Baby Butcher Shop.
Baby Butcher Shop, yeah. Which, tons of just infant babies being chopped up. Butchered. Like a lot of them. Like, and the thing was, they were using those dolls that kind of, what do you call them? I don't know if they were actually these, but they were like them at least.
They're like, oh gosh, they have a special name, but they're like, almost alive or something like that.
Yeah. Like, very realistic.
Very realistic. Like, they're actually, like, weighted and stuff like that, so they actually feel like a real, like, baby doll, like a real baby and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People use them when they, like, lose their children and stuff like that in childbirth to like, kind of cope with it. But, yeah, a lot of them were.
Yeah, they kind of seemed like they were that, yeah.
Great looking.
There was, like, the one scene that I kind of wasn't the biggest fan of, and this has been, I think, there for a while, and the reason why is it doesn't seem made so actors can get you at all in this, where it's just this, like, swamp bridge scene.
Yeah.
It definitely seemed like this was a little bit of an afterthought, because, like, the way it was lit, like, it was lit too much in there, and it was kind of jarring, because most of the Haunted Hoochie looked so good, and then this scene, to me at least, just kind of looked meh.
Yeah. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. It stood out. It was, like...
There's a few moments of the Hoochie where all of a sudden, like, looks like an old school haunt, like, where it's just, like, not drywall, but, like, basically, like, not pallets, what do you call it? It's just, like, the thin, like, wood walls that are just painted black.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's just weird because you go from, like, these, like, $1 million sets and scenes and then to, like, a room that looks like that. It's just interesting. They have a really cool church scene with this pentagram that lights on fire. Something that we're pretty positive was new was this casket maze that you had to, like, weave in and out of. And it wasn't big, but it was an actual maze.
There's probably like 50 caskets in there. It was crazy. Like,
yeah.
I don't know where they got them all. Because they were like
a lot of caskets
the newer ones. Like, not just the wooden toe pinchers, but like these were like full-fledged, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird.
And then after that, you get to go to the second haunt, which is the Bad Trip haunt, which is just a 3D haunt. Not much happens in there. It really hasn't changed since I've started going there, and I've been going there for, at least 15 years now.
It needs some TLC.
I really don't understand. Like,
My 3D glasses didn't even, like, do anything.
I mean,
ended up putting them on top of my regular glasses because I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that was some... I don't know, it might have just been your glasses, because I definitely got the 3D effect, but just nothing's changed. And to me, it's not bad. If you've never been through it before, it's kind of trippy and cool, but, like, if you go there a lot, really, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. But yeah, the sets and props in Haunted Hoochie are really, really good. I just wish that a couple of those scenes, like, just were changed. And wouldn't feel as much of an afterthought, so we gave it a 9.75. You know, almost as close as perfect as a haunt can get, but if they fix a couple of those things that have been aging, I think that it'll be back to a 10. So now, oh geez, okay. Moving on to actors. Now, we're not going to be able to mention all of the great ones here because, you know, we don't want to make this review crazy long. But the first one we're going to mention was one of the only, like, true, like, interactions we had in the queue. So her name was Candy, and she recognized us. But she was also, like, giving other people, like, pretty good interactions. Yes, so it wasn't just because she knew who we were. You know, she came up and she was like, oh my god, I love you guys. And her voice was really cool. I think it was a she. Pretty sure it was a she.
I think so.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of, like, really interesting dialogue that was exchanged between us and stuff like that. And she, like, gave us all hugs. Because obviously this is a touch haunt. I'm assuming we've said that. But it's a very much a touch haunt. So they will touch you a lot in this haunt. Which we'll get more into that. But she had these scissors. And she asked, well, she's talking about our Book of the Dead here, and our friend Cam was with us, who does the voice for the Book of the Dead in the Book of the Dead thing. That's her. And I was like, well, this is the... She asked if we could put her in the Book of the Dead, and I'm like, well, this is the one that does the voice. And she goes over, and she asks her if she wants to be Scissor Sisters. And so she's like, scissor me! And she does this, and she even goes, oh, as they do it. And then she goes, oh yeah, guys, we're going to go to the outhouse. And I was going to make, it's really funny, because I was going to make the comment be like, I don't think that'll be big enough. And she goes, don't worry, we'll use the handicap one. Before I could even say it, I'm like, and that last part just sent me. That one, it got me good. If I wasn't so dead tired, I probably would have laughed like a hyena. It was more of just because I was barely alive at that point, but it was hilarious.
She told me I should have an OnlyFans page.
Oh, yeah. yeah. She said that Kim, should have an OnlyFans page, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, you were great, and I'm sure I would have. And she had me take a picture of her and Kim together. So yeah, she was really awesome. Well, we already kind of talked about the first scene when you get in there, which is the unalive scene. It definitely seemed like I think they had more than usual, because it just seemed like we were getting even more grabbed and shoved than usual.
They were in like every boo hole known to man. And even if there wasn't somebody there was an animatronic just flopping at you and stuff. It was pure chaos. For being 1 o'clock in the morning, it was like...
Oh, yeah, which I think it really added, we might not have had energy, they did. Yeah. But that's crazy about the Hoochie is, I mean, like, there's even, like, holes, like, down below where they're just grabbing your legs or grabbing your head. The one guy kept putting my head up in my hood up in the junkyard seat, and I put it down, and then he came from somewhere, and he grabbed it and put it back up, and he's like, I said keep it up! And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. The war scene... It's freaky because I don't think they fire, but they have like really realistic guns and they point them right at your head, and it just makes you uneasy having a gun pulled at you.
It was freaky because at one point the guy's like aiming the gun away from us, and then he just full force put it right in my face. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh. So
I don't even think they can fire I don't even think they would fire blanks or like even like not what do you call this, like the little popper guns or whatever.
Yeah, no, it just did air. It did air.
Oh, it did shoot air.
It shot
okay,
air.
I didn't get shot with that. Oh, that's pretty crazy though. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I say, you're just getting shoved and all of that stuff, which is really crazy. I mean, sometimes someone's shoving you another actor and they're shoving you another one. Mm-hmm. The monkeys were really grabby and shovey.
Oh, the monkeys were like all up in there, yeah.
Kim got Simba'd. I don't know by who, because again, I wasn't with Kim until like the very end of the haunt.
Yeah, I don't know why this is a theme this year, because this is the second time I've gotten Simba down.
Oh, that was a different haunt. Yeah, what was the first one that did it? I don't remember.
Reapers,
Simba, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, on the hayride.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They just like, we're around Simba. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and somebody came over to me and did the same thing. They just walked up to me and went, Simba, and then ran away. And I was like, okay.
There was a scene they added a couple years ago where there is a quite large man he is nude, by the way, sitting in a chair from behind, and a woman cuts his testicles off and then grabs his wet testicles and slaps you in the face with them. That's fun. And then right after that is when a clown gets beheaded, and then you get smacked in the face with that. We already talked about the guy that held us up to the motorcycle. The guy that was coming out of the submarine on Ocean Gate was really aggressive. He was flying flying out of that hole.
Yeah,
he
was like full out of it. Like he barely had his feet in there. He was just like all the way out of there.
When I loved it too, because he was like a burn up skeleton type of thing.
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be like corpse one of the billionaires. Oh man. Though there was a lot, the chainsaw people were really aggressive. There's a lot of them. There's a really aggressive this year, just smacking around with the chainsaws. One thing I do like, and it's nice, so it doesn't hurt. I'm assuming they probably scrape people up at some point. Where the chainsaws all have like this padding on them, which makes it a little less freaky, but it's not nearly as painful when they smack you and like rub them up and down your thighs. It just kind of vibrates you a little.
I was actually looking forward to get it on my back because we had been standing for literally 4.5 hours on like uneven ground, and my back started to hurt. And I'm like, yeah, just give me like a neck massage with your chainsaw. That would be great. Yeah,
Today After showed me the reason that. I will not wait in line. I'm too old for that. And if you're wondering, well, why didn't... Because we went with a big group of people, and there are some people that just, which is understandable. It is like an upcharge of $25 per person. They couldn't afford to do the Fast Pass, and obviously we weren't going to do Fast Pass and have them not. I thought it was going to be like a 2-hour wait. I had no idea it was going to be over 4 hours. Even he said, like, if he would have known, he would have just basically found a way to afford it. But anyways. Probably one of the most messed up interactions was in the freaking, the baby... scene thing, because as soon as I walked in, a guy grabs, like, he decapitates a baby, grabs it, and just right into my face. I mean, he just like goosed me with it. I think someone had a little arm they were smacking me with. I'm pretty sure one got shot out of a little cannon or something. I'm pretty positive. There's like a pop.
The one that got cut off, the head cut off. It was the constant stream of blood.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Out of that. Yeah, it was.
I saw them on a table, like Julie-ing them. Yeah.
Yeah, on the table there was just this little like waterfall that was going of blood, and then one of those real, looking dolls that I had mentioned earlier. The lady was like just like putting them in people's faces like this.
I believe it was after that scene or around that scene is when you get to the barn scene, which has people violating chickens and sheep and maybe other animals, but for sure those two. The sheep guy was coming out into the queue line too, and I mean, he just has a sheep attached to his, crotch. Same with the chicken guy. I didn't get pegged by the chicken guy this year.
Yeah, he didn't come out at this time. He kind of stayed where he was. Normally, he comes out and like actually grabs people's faces and puts.
Well, I think he was. There. We just got lucky and got past him before he started the grabbing because he was doing something with like a tool of some sort. And I think he was getting ready because I saw him like put that down and I kind of coming more towards the edge of the stage. I'm like, not today. And I kind of went up faster.
Yeah, I didn't make eye contact with him this time because last time I hollered his name and he grabbed me.
Here's your fun devil nuns that don't wear much. There was a really cool... Well, I think they've had this before, but I could actually see it this year, where, like, they have this scene where, like, a guy with a chainsaw comes out and cuts this, like, prop's, like, face in half, and the whole thing flops, and it's cool. And then, I think we forgot to mention, there is, like, an airplane you walk through. We forgot to mention that in sets and props, and there's some actors in there as well. Now, as far as actors and the palate cleanser or the, bad trip haunt... They were there, but they didn't really touch it all and didn't interact much. We're not even really including like that in the rating. But for actors, we gave them a 10. I mean, they were aggressive. There was a ton of them. They were grabbing you, shoving you. And this is the kind of place where you get into a conga line, but it doesn't really matter just because it's so intense and it's just everywhere. Yeah, actors is definitely, we gave them a 10. They did an amazing job.
Oh, yeah.
And also, man, those they have a heat lamp on them, but like the whole night, there were 3 different, we'll call them strippers. I mean, they don't actually strip, but they're dressed very lightly.
Yeah,
and
I call them go-go dancers.
Yeah, they're go-go dancers. But they're dressed very lightly, and I think sometimes they're even dressed less, but it was a cooler night.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I've seen them wear just pasties before.
Yes, yeah.
But there's like a little cage thing that they dance at above the queue line, which is cool. It's about the only entertainment we got that night was that, but, but yeah, props to them for doing that all night long in the cold. I know there's a heat lamp, but it has to get tiring after a while. So now we're going to move to scare factor. So not much more to talk about here because we've already touched on it so much, but it's very loud, it's very touchy, it's very gross, it's very crude, very adult, it's very in your face, and of course it's very gory. Now, I do think there are scarier haunts. I don't think there's more, what's the right word? I don't know. I can't think of another haunted house that's like as R-rated in its themes, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can think of haunted houses that are probably a little bit more just purely terrifying. This is more like, that is messed up, but it's fun, like, I don't think there's too many people that are just breaking down in sheer fear because they're touching you and stuff, but it's so over the top and weird that it kind of becomes funny a lot of the times. Like, disgusting and disturbing, but, like, so far south that it's like, that's funny now. If you're a horror fan, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, again, like, it's very offensive. Yeah, duh, that's the word. Offensive.
Yeah.
It's a very offensive haunted
Yeah.
house. But yeah, we gave it a 9.75 because, I mean, I think there was a little step it could be scarier, but it's about as messed up as you get. Value, it was $35 for general, $60 for the fast pass, which you should do. It doesn't change the night of the week. It is a shorter haunt. It took 15 to 16 minutes. It took 16 minutes this time. Bad Trip is about 4 minutes. We gave value a 9. It's decent value because it's a really good quality haunt and you're going to be entertained. But again, just plan on doing the fast pass unless you're okay with waiting in a line like that. I don't think anything's worth that wait. Not even like the greatest roller coaster I've ever ridden would I want to wait 4 hours in. I'd just rather not do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just plan on buying the fast pass if you're going, especially if you're going like on a Saturday. Friday, if you show up earlier, maybe you'll get a little lucky. Or if you show up really like, no, even close to close, it's still busy because there's still a lot of people behind us when we entered at 1, which is what's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, but for value, we gave it a 9. We thought it was pretty good value for, you know, the quality and stuff, but a little on the expensive side for the longer it is. So overall, we gave it a 9.5. I mean, the Haunted Hoochie really never disappoints. We've never been through it and be like, man, that sucked. Like, it's always at least really good. And I thought this was a really good year. Yeah. The only thing that I just want to double back, the only thing I did want to complain about, actually, even though we gave it a 10, is the casket only had one actor, and it seemed the casket like maze, and it seemed like the perfect place for actors to be hiding. The actors are still so good, we didn't want to like dock it for that, but it was like, this is weird that there was only one actor at the very end. But yeah, have you been to the Haunted Hoochie before? If not, do you plan on going this year? Or maybe you plan on returning this year. Either way, make sure you're liking our video, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you're ringing the notification bell so you don't miss any future upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.